Whoa, whoa, whoa. I did not see you there. I'm so sorry. But with that being said, how you doing, You doing good? It's good to see you. This is the Combine, and we'll be right back in just a second.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
So our producer, Andrew Montana, is apparently out of green onions. Welcome to the Combine, and joining me are Doug and Juice, 2 fellow IM players on the HTF intramural football team, who, might I add, won this past week 20-0 against an absolute stinker of a team. If they're watching, L. Mr. Doug, who's sitting right next to me, was our defensive player of the year, of the game. Well, probably of the year, but that remains to be seen.
Time will tell.
Only time will tell. But Doug had an absolute monster of a game. So I brought him on here specifically. I want to ask you, how do you feel like our defense did overall throughout this entire game?
I mean, for our first game, well, first of all, a shutout.
Yeah.
We them boys,
We
you
them
know?
boys.
But I don't know. We let them get the first down. They maybe got that second first down one time.
Yeah.
Come on now. Our defense was playing lights out. The only thing that in the second half, they made an adjustment to. I love this. You see that brick wall? That was basically our defense out there.
Oh, we couldn't find a picture for Doug, so we figured, Doug is the brick wall. Somebody tried throwing a slant over the middle, and Doug dropped his shoulder and absolutely leveled somebody. It was awesome.
Fun
I've never seen anything like it in intramural sports. But if you want to take a peek
you can go
at
find him in the hospital.
Tyler Brownrigg, that was the quarterback's face every play, because Tyler Brownrigg is in the backfield every play.
For real.
Every play. Doug,
Yeah,
would you care to break down this graphic for us?
5 interceptions. I don't know if we had that many.
We probably did. They stink.
I thought we
They're
had
really
3.
bad.
I had 2. Phil had 1. A little typo, but 3 pass breakups, 3 sacks, 1 by Ron, 1 by Tyler, 1 by Luca.
Oh, yeah.
We're firing on all cylinders on defense.
yeah.
I loved every second of it. I couldn't wait to get back out on defense. It was that much fun playing.
And before we get rid of this graphic, our team motto, just for everyone out there, is never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Woo! We love that. All right, moving over to the offensive side, because defensively we were studs on that field. There's no one better than us.
Might be the best defensive team in IM football.
I'm not going to argue that. I will not argue that. We were monstrous out there, like unheard of a good defense. But offensively, we have 2 people here. We have me and we have Juice, both of which had 2 touchdowns just in separate ways. I threw 2. And Juice
I caught 2.
You caught 2. And it was so insanely amazing. Just me and Juice connected. Like it was like how what's the best pro comparison you can give for us?
Prime Brady.
Whoa.
And then I can be your guy Julian Edelman.
Speaking of Julian Edelman, both your names start with J, and here
Exactly,
we go.
exactly.
What is going on with you in this third?
Someone
give
Chick-fil-A milkshakes, man. What's going on?
I was coming back from the beach. It was a long day. Someone did me dirty.
Oh my God.
But no, it was a great game. I had a lot of fun. 2 touchdowns on 4 catches. 175 yards?
Ish.
All these stats for passing yards are going to say ish. We had I was told before the show was going to begin that we had a stat book, and then I was sent a stat book. Shout out Matty Glass.
Yeah.
But it was just a bunch of writings that said Phil catch.
Yeah. Touchdown juice.
Catch. +7. No number. So we're estimating, but I think would you say, Doug, that that's a fair estimate?
Oh, definitely. He had a big 75-yard touchdown. He had a couple other big ones. I think it's around that, yeah.
I'm happy
Speaking
with
of
it.
the 75-yard touchdown, Juice and I connected like you've never seen before between a quarterback-wide receiver duo. Drop back, look off a safety, I turn around. Juice is, pardon my French, butt booty naked on the left side of the field, wide open like you've never seen. And it was just, it was a nice ball on a rope. Juice made a great catch, took off down the field, and the rest is history,
play.
man. The rest is history.
It was a great play.
Oh, look at that. Where did you find this picture? Who took this picture?
That was at Luca's party when we put the shades on.
Makes a lot of sense. Why I don't remember.
I love that.
That's a great
I
photo.
love
That's
that.
some great photos.
I love that.
So this says week 2 passing offense. You may be wondering why this is week 2 passing offense. Mm-hmm. We were taking these pictures while they were playing.
While
While we
our
were
first
supposed to
game.
be playing the first
intramural
game.
football. You know, what's a great team without good pre-game
We have to
photos?
build that chemistry. We have
We
to build that
do.
chemistry,
And
and that's what we use
if
week
you
1
look,
for.
have you ever seen a better set of distinguished gentlemen than Doug and I right here? I
have
don't
not.
think so. I don't think so.
not.
I don't
Besides
think
in the mirror.
any.
That definitely looks like someone wearing a C on their jersey, you know?
Oh yeah. Completely agreed. Like,
That's a true leader. That's a true leader.
Like, I mean, I if I had my glasses off, I might have thought that was Ray Lewis right there. Like, you know, maybe if I take this off with Tom Brady, that's crazy. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception on my part. It was a bit of a bad pass. I'd like to clarify, I'm throwing you under the bus just a little bit, my buddy Jared. I said run a flat route. Jared ran a fly route, and I threw off a back foot. It was a bad pass. I take full responsibility, but we still shut out. Oh, here we go.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So I made this graphic yesterday, and I just thought, drip, drip. Why not more drip?
Extraordinary.
Extraordinarily large amounts of drip present.
I didn't know we had Jimmy G in our presence.
That's what I'm. I mean, the jawline is immaculate. Here, let me do a demonstration real quick. You know, but I went 7 for 10 on the day. I figured, you know, my stat line was gonna be looking like 33 for 33 for like 1,050 yards against this defense. They were stinky.
They were doo-doo.
They were very doo-doo. They were extremely stinky, but
Still a great game.
it was still a great game. The first half was insanely dominant. We scored once in each quarter, shut them out, I believe, 3 drives in the first half.
So,
Yeah,
something about
Something like
that.
that.
Yeah.
And going into halftime, it was 14-0. I do want to throw a big shout out to someone sitting behind the camera who had the one and only rushing touchdown of the game. And if we could go ahead and put his little
That boy
thing up
Luca.
Mr. Waluka Costa. There he is. Now, although he may be wearing an L shirt, he did have a W touchdown in that game. Phil came up to me on the sideline. He said, "Look, Ty, I know you're playing out of your mind good right now, but you got to give the other guy some reps at quarterback." And I was like, you know what? I'm a benevolent quarterback. I will give you some reps right now. So I let Phil come in. I gave him an opportunity to shine, and he did just that. Handing it off to Luca. Luca rushes for 5 yards. Our only rush of the game, and it winds up. Maybe we should rush more. What do y'all think?
We're having a touchdown every single rush, you know. Maybe we got to incorporate it.
I didn't know that Luca ran a 3.9, but I mean. We got out on that field.
He was like
and
Lightning McQueen out there with the ball.
Yeah, you know, I'm 95% sure Luca whispered ka-chow into somebody's ear before they could pull
He
his
threw out the
flag.
peace sign.
He did. He threw up a little peace sign like Tyreek. It was amazing.
Orlando's cheetah.
Orlando's cheetah. We are coining that. It's going to be on the back of a jersey next game. But moving forward, although we did have a 20-0 W, it was a great celebration, might I add. We have a game coming up this week against another fellow HTF member, Camden Mowry. And even though Camden doesn't necessarily start for the team, he will be watching. So we have to put on a show. I personally would like to throw for 5 touchdowns and then go sing Ice Spice on their sideline. But we need to rub it in somehow. So my prediction for this week is going to be 57-0 us. Doug, what do you think?
Oh my God.
Camden's standing in studio. We have to do something.
I mean that their first game they lost. They're tied 0-0. Their second game they won 47-0, which worries me a little bit. I'm gonna say 27-20 us.
I like the score, Mr. Juice.
I was going to go like, I think 35-7. I think we have a solid defense, and we might slip
Great.
it up once, but
And for all the viewers at home, Camden is standing behind the camera videoing this just so he has receipts. You won't need them, pal.
Yeah, he's
All
trying
right,
to motivate his team.
We're going to go ahead and run to a commercial break real quick. I am going to bring over another set of lovely gentlemen. But Juice and Doug, thank you for joining me, and we will be right back after this quick commercial break. Jack, buddy, why are you here?
I don't really understand why I'm here. I got called a delusional fan. I just don't understand why I'm delusional if I think Kirk Cousins had the best mustache in the league.
Well, Jack, buddy, I don't want to be the one to tell you this, but I don't think anybody looks cool in handlebars.
But they're back, man. They're back.
They're not. Well, Jack, buddy, I don't want to be the one to tell you this, but I don't think anybody looks cool in handlebars.
But they're back, man. They're back.
They're not. They're not. Sometimes you just got to face the hard truth. It's right there in front of you. All these people, they're calling you delusional, but sometimes you got to worry about, am I projecting? Is it me? And in this
Let me
case,
tell you something, bud. It could never be me. Anything I say is factual and truth, and that's why the Vikings are going 16-1 this year.
organization, you have to look at your roster and say, I've had Kirk Thuggins for 6 years. Maybe it's time to move on.
There is no moving on from Kirk Thuggins and Justin Jefferson.
Do you think that maybe this all started just because of a little disappointment?
Nothing has started. This is how I live, and I am not delusional. I'm a prophet.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Combine. And not only me, but my massive biceps are still here. And now joining me are Nick and Jared. Jared is our other stout defensive player from this IM game. But we are not here to talk about the best football in the world, IM football. We're here to talk about the second best, the NFL. And we're going to jump right into it and talk about a quarterback that I think is incredibly stinky, and that is Daniel Jones. This guy stinks. He's bad. Niners beat the Giants 30-12 on Thursday Night Football this week, and I mean, what do we expect? Like it was going to happen regardless. It was just a matter of how soon Giants fans were willing to accept it.
Yeah.
But what did y'all think generally about this game? Any
So
thoughts?
Daniel Jones, he got the bag. I
Yep.
mean, he got the bag in the offseason,
Yep.
and then ever since then, he's kind of just been tripping over the bag. Like, he's been looking terrible. Obviously, they didn't have Saquon, so that sucks. But, I mean, the 49ers, they might go undefeated. I know it's crazy to say, and, you know, it never really happens, but the 49ers have a real chance of going undefeated. So.
Undefeated, I think, is a little bit of a stretch. I understand where you're coming from, but every team's got hard games that they have to play.
Of course.
The Niners have some too. I definitely see them slipping up at least once or twice during this. They're not going to be. I don't think they're going to be perfect. But I wanted to ask you real quick: how long did it take you to come up with that Daniel Jones tripping on a bag?
I literally thought of it while sitting on this couch right here.
I'm going to crown you the quippiest HTF member there is, Mr. Nick.
Yes.
Your thoughts on the game?
I think the 49ers are the best team in the league. I'm sorry.
While wearing the Dolphins jersey, that's crazy.
I think Dolphins are second best, but I know we'll get to them later. Yeah.
All right. I as much as I'd like to stay and talk about Danny Pennies, that guy stinks. There's nothing more to talk about. He's just bad. They need to get him out of town. Caleb Williams. Take for Caleb Williams. That's all there is to it. But
I don't know.
another fan base that is in shambles right now, actually two fan bases that are in shambles right now, are the Vikings fan base, Mr. Tyler Brownrigg, I am so very sorry, and the Chargers fan base, who our main friend Doug, who's just here, is a diehard Chargers fan. That's got to be heartbreaking.
But they won, though.
But they're both 0-2, and they won by 4 points. What does it say about this franchise? You know what it says? It says Brandon Staley, show up with pitchforks, get him out of there.
Yeah.
Just run him out of town. Like both organizations are bad. I really think it's time for the Vikings to throw everything they have out the window and just tank for Caleb.
Everything? You think they throw Justin Jefferson out the window?
No, but like their aspirations for this season.
Yeah,
I
would agree.
think any hopes they have, like they play Carolina this week, you might as well just put Nick Mullins in there, you know. Just take Kirk out. Just take.
Crazy.
I think
Kirk
it's-
has been doing good though.
Kirk has been doing good, but you should send him to like New York and let him succeed instead of letting him sit behind like I don't know 5 Walmart salesmen that they put on the O line over there. Because Kirk gets sacked. How many times does he get sacked a game? Like what? Like 5 or 6 times a
Bad.
game.
He
It's
still leads
bad.
the league in passing though.
He does still
Actually, I
lead
don't
the
know
league in
anymore.
passing, but he has Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, who are both phenomenal receivers. T.J. Hawkinson's back there, K.J. Osborne.
They're being
And
wasted.
They are being wasted. I don't understand how you have all these pieces and somehow they still stink. But
It's the defense, bro. The defense is absolutely terrible. And I mean, Justin Herbert just diced them for over 400 yards.
yeah,
And they won without Austin Eckler. I mean,
which is ridiculous.
They had like 12 rushing yards on the game. Like, how do you do that and then lose?
I think this game falls on the Chargers just have a better overall team.
Yeah.
And with a better head coach, Brandon Staley needs to be fired. They can be serious contenders. But as of right now, they're totally not.
You know, I was actually just about to make a point. I'm going to argue with you a little bit. I think the Vikings have the better team. I do.
No.
But I think Justin Herbert is just more of a factor than Kirk Cousins.
I mean, definitely. but-
I don't think they have a better team at all.
Because
I
I
would
personally
heavily argue against that.
I personally would take Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Hawkinson over Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Gerald Everett.
You're tripping.
What about
Why?
Austin? What about
How?
Austin Eckler?
Because Keenan
No,
Allen,
wait, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about receiving core right now.
Keenan Allen just had 200 yards on like 18 catches.
Okay,
Justin
but
Jefferson
Justin
didn't
Herbert
even do
threw
that.
49 passes for like
Of
the
course.
12th time in a row. Like,
And Kirk Cousins threw 50.
did he really?
Yeah.
I've been proven wrong in my own sport. I must commit seppuku.
All right. But yeah, we can talk about the Bucks, your Bucks now. So at least you got that going for you.
So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are bucking up tonight and beating the Philadelphia Eagles, and it is going to be disastrous. I can't wait to get the Snapchat notification of Waluka Costa crying because the Eagles get absolutely just demolished. It's going to be ridiculous. Baker Mayfield is him. I know we have a graphic up on screen right now. Baker Mayfield's him. I really, like, I said this last week. I'm going to stand by it because I'm a Bucs fan. I kind of have to. Baker Mayfield's better than Tom Brady. He's better than Joe Montana. He's better than any quarterback that's ever lived ever. He's the best there's ever been or ever will be, at least for this season. But I do think the Eagles, okay. I'm actually going to throw it to you because I have something I want to say, but I want to save it for a second.
Okay, great. I'll go ahead and say what I was thinking. Baker Mayfield will definitely do better than Tom Brady and Joe Montana this year, but you're crazy for saying he's the better overall. That's just
He's the best that's
out
ever
of
been,
pocket.
or ever will be.
That's like saying that Puka Nacua is not the best receiver of all time. But anyway, no, I do hope that the Buccaneers win tonight. I would love to see an upset. Obviously, the Eagles are still probably, ranked 1 or 2 in the NFC, probably Super Bowl favorites. So
Nope, they're favored to finish last in the NFC. They're hot garbage.
Well, I do want to see the Bucks win, though.
As long as Jalen Hurts is good for me in fantasy tonight because I'm losing, I don't care who wins. Although I do think it'll be the
I have
Eagles.
the Bucs
I'm sorry.
defense, so I regret to inform you of this, but he's going to have
They could do
3
good on special
interceptions
teams.
tonight.
Not on
least.
defense.
What do you mean?
I need Jalen Hurts to do good.
Bro needs Jalen Hurts.
I do. I'm undefeated.
then you can afford a loss.
Okay. I think we can all agree that Baker is better than Jalen Hurts. It's an easy decision to make, but I do want to throw it into something that I was sitting at home after the gym, throwing things across my room, angry that the Dolphins did not kick a field goal in the fourth quarter and tie the record
They
for
could have
most
tied the
points
record.
ever in the history of professional football. Not Super Bowl era, history of professional football. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Because Mike McDaniel wanted to be respectful after beating the Broncos by 50 points.
He went for it on 4th down, one already
No,
up
he
by
took
that
a
many-
knee on 4th down.
No, I'm saying earlier in the game. He wasn't even being
yeah.
respectful back then.
No, I don't understand where that philosophy comes from, that good nature. You beat them by 50.
Listen, I was at the game yesterday afternoon, and I've never seen Hard Rock Stadium that electric when we hit that mark. Tua, Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert all did amazing, and then 10 minutes before the game, I picked up Devon A-Chain in a different league in
Oh
fantasy.
my God.
Absolutely won me the matchup this week. I mean, Broncos country, I say let's hide. Broncos country, let's move to the Pac-12. I mean, fire the DC. Dolphins absolutely destroyed you guys.
That's crazy. Sean Payton, get out of town.
70 points is unacceptable.
It is
Plain and
unacceptable.
simple.
It just-
Without Jalen Waddle.
It's crazy because Sean Payton talked all that smack too.
We have to go to commercial break soon. but I want to ask you a question. Who would win right now between the two stinkers in Colorado, Deion Sanders and the Buffaloes, or the Denver Broncos?
Deion Sanders.
Deion,
I mean-
100% prime time.
Only one
It's
is
not even
doing
a
good.
competition. Russell Wilson would still look like a stinker against Colorado. I do mean that.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this segment, so we'll be right back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Hello there, everybody. My name is Dominic Mullen. Welcome to Hitting the Field Network. Our first show that you're going to see on YouTube is Hitting the Field Main Show, hosted by yours truly on Mondays at noon, where you'll see me with a fresh fade and fresh news. I'll also be talking a little bit of the hottest topics in sports, and we are going to be arguing mainly on there. On Tuesdays at noon, you'll see Isaiah De Anda Delgado and Ty Paton on the Combine. Just more of a podcast, laid-back style of a show. And if you're looking for the most creative segment ideas, head on over there on Tuesday. On our off day, don't forget to check out the studio vlogs on Wednesdays. Andrew Montano does a great job of giving a little bit of the behind-the-scenes look into Hitting the Field. Moving to Thursdays, speaking of Andrew Montana, him, Philip Powell, and Ezra Hines lead the way on HTF Bets. The Bets boys always come dressed to impress, and if you're looking to win some money and catch up on the latest betting lines, that's the show for you. On Fridays, you're going to head over and see Matty Glass and the always wrong Tyler Brownrigg on Nighttime to break down everything about college sports. If you go to UCF or are interested in UCF sports, this is the best place for you. Sorry, Tyler. Our newest show here at Hitting the Field on Saturdays is Girl Talk, hosted by Kirsten Blaylock and Lexi Zolo. The all-female hosted show tackles breaking news all across the sports world and as well reliving the history and current state of your favorite team. Check that show out Saturdays at noon. Again, I am your main show host, Dominic Moeller, and if you're enjoying this content, don't be afraid to subscribe to our Hitting the Field YouTube and check out our Instagram. But for now, that's all. I'll see you on main show. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Combine. And as you have probably already deduced, segment 3 is always going to be fun. And today, it's no less than any other week that we've had in segment 3 on Combine. We have a game that I like to call This Guy Stinks. Now, do the guys actually stink? No. But I'm forcing two unfortunate souls to prove to me why goats of their respective sport stink. And with me are two extremely handsome, distinguished gentlemen. Start off with Mr. John Warner. Very, very attractive right now. Thank you. You're welcome.
As always.
And Camden Mowry, I brought a fan on set, and I think it's just because he's too hot. I can't deduce another reason behind why he would have one, but yeah. So I'm going to keep it a surprise who I have given you, gentlemen. But you each have two players, and you have to prove to me why these guys stink. You are on the clock. I'm giving you a minute each.
Oh.
Mr. John,
I'm
you
first?
can pick whoever you'd like to pick first. You have your two names. I'd like you to tell me why this guy stinks.
All right, let's just rip off the Band-Aid. Let's go with Tom Brady first.
There it is. You got to convince me. Why does this guy stink, John?
Okay, so this is like, before we start, this really hurts me because I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. So, sorry, Tom. I'm going to apologize in advance. But so first of all, is he the greatest of all time? No, Peyton better. 97 career losses. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of times Brady's taking that L. 212 career interceptions. That speaks for itself. 134 career fumbles. Like, he's losing that ball. And, like, it should be 135, but he got bailed by the tuck rule. So, 2 Super Bowl losses to Eli Manning. Are you kidding me? How do you lose to Eli Manning?
I like what you got. I'm taking notes.
Take
here.
notes.
I'm giving good stats right here.
And of course, who could forget Deflategate, the deflated footballs? Did they beat the Colts by like 70 points? Yes, they did. But was it the football's fault? Yes, it was. So Tom Brady's a fraud. I mean, if you watch the 2022 season, I mean, it was pretty obvious. Look at Baker. Baker's riding with the same team, 2-0. That's all that needs to be said. You said it in the last segment. Baker's better than Tom Brady. You said it yourself.
Ooh, you used my own words against me. I like what you got going on right now, Mr. John. Mr. Camden, your rebuttal.
Wow. Well, I know this show is probably the worst takes that they've had all semester. I'm going to continue it. So I want to go Wayne Gretzky first because this guy, system hockey player. I mean, can you name one other hockey player from the 80s? I can't because I didn't watch hockey back then because none of us were alive. Look at this. I gave him some nice numbers up there because you got to know he did score a lot of goals. But look at that. 4 different teams. And before we play the highlight, I want the highlight back here so he could see what I'm talking about. Before we play it, what's the most important thing in hockey, do you think? Toughness. Okay. Watch this guy here. Wayne Gretzky said no to a fight. You never stand down to a fight. Watch this hit. All these teammates getting his back. He's standing in the corner, not even helping his team out. Hold on. Watch the hit. Watch the hit they're getting upset about. That's it? Are you kidding? That's the fight? This guy is soft. He's weak. He ain't no toughie. And he played in a year or in a decade, in a century, whatever that guy played, where goalies were allowing 4 goals per game. Everyone could have scored on him. You and me could have walked back there and thrown 2 goals in. I don't know how to ice skate, but we could have done something. I mean, it's like they didn't even have goalies back then. I mean, Wayne Gretzky might be a fraud. Look at that face. You're telling me that's the best hockey player? Sidney Crosby better.
I'm not going to share my thoughts just yet, but Mr. John, no pun intended, you are on thin ice. What do you got for me?
Well, I got to go with Mike Tyson.
Iron Mike Tyson. Why does this guy stink?
So, as we all know, Mike Tyson is most famous for his, some would say, ugly tattoo on the side of his face. I mean, regardless of whether you think it's awesome or not, it's just weird. Like, I mean, look at it. It's terrible. He also had 3 pet tigers, which is pretty crazy. But when you consider that he let one of them get stolen by Ed Helms, I don't know. He obviously wasn't a very good caregiver for them. So he lost 6 fights in his career. So I don't know. Muhammad Ali better.
Am I losing my mind, or does that say at least 1 ear's bitten?
And who could? All we like, as far as we know, he bit 1 ear off of another human's body. Like, as far as we know, that's the under. Like, that's the conservative side of that. But it could be more. But we have to stick to the factual information of what's confirmed by history, and that is, of course, that
at least 1 ear's bitten.
At least 1.
And Mr. Camden, I'm very interested to see how you handle this one. What do you got? Why does the greatest golfer to ever exist stink?
Well, you know what I'm thinking? If we could just go, Tiger Woods, there he is. First of all, his real name is Eldrick. Let's throw that out there. That's got to be the first thing. Eldrick. I had to look up how to spell that thing. Was he born in 1923? Have you met anyone with the name of Eldrick? Look at all these stats right here. He was the runner-up 31 times. He does not know how to win. Washed, 47 years old. Wins in the last 3 years. You know what I think about? Stains on legacy. LeBron, prime. Whole entire 20 years. This guy, back issues, car accidents, marriage issues, infidelity, all the things that this guy could do. It is just, Jack Nicklaus, Rory McIlroy, all those guys. Love him.
So, with Tom Brady holding such stats as 1 divorce, etc., I really thought John had this in the bag, but I'm going to be honest. Camden, I think you ran away with this. I would give Camden the W here. This was extremely fun. We're definitely doing this again. It's been a great segment. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. And we will catch you all next week on the Combine. Same time.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make